Hey, how are you guys doing?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. Good
Nice to
morning.
see you too.
Too long.
Yeah.
Previous seasons, we have seen Liv spending time trying to get Mike to listen to her. And this season, she's sort of more in a leadership role, at least at the beginning, because Mike is busy taking care of his mental health. So, sort of talk about that dynamic shift this season for both of you, whoever wants to go first.
Liz?
Um, well, I know for my character, yeah, she's kind of manning the fort while he is on a little bit of mental health leave. And, but she needs him back. And it's not because she doesn't think she can sort of um, it's not that she's not up for the challenge, but she needs him there. They're a team, they're partners. They have to bounce off of each other. So, um, she's the one who's saying, "You have to come back. Like you have to come back." And she's so happy when he does. So yeah, they get to truly, truly work together on every level this season.
Cool.
Agreed.
Anything to
Yeah,
add?
I agree. I agree with that. I think it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here. I think, Mike's world is shattered in some ways, and it takes him a little bit of time to accept what he has thus far for the entire course of this series, what he has found to be unacceptable, which is that there are aliens, and not just they exist, but they're here in patients doing alien things. And That is tough. It's tough for him to completely accept. And he discovers the difficulty in trying to get someone else to accept that as he's trying to convey his concerns about the threat to Lena. So he understands Deputy Liv's that challenge and that struggle more clearly than ever before. Once it's actually him that has to try to convince someone else. So,
Okay, great. Thank you.
I have a kind of frivolous question, and either or both of you can answer. What would you say best describes the relationship? I know what I feel, but I want to know what you're taking between Sheriff Mike and Deputy Liv. Is it brother and sister, father and daughter, mother and son, just friends, co-workers? What do you think best
I
describes?
mean, I think it's sort
great.
of a dysfunctional brother and sister.
Mhm. I'd agree with that. I think, I think, I don't know what the dynamic would be as far as the relationship, but I know Mike saw it like this. Whatever it was this. And I think Liz saw the Deputy Liv may have seen it too, but she understood that this was her. You know what I mean? So slowly during the course of right, if they, as it's like as this slowly we got to this place where we found here,
Mhm.
and I think that's a beautiful arc for both the characters. He's been there for her when it came to her confronting the situation with her grandmother, and she's been there for him when it came to confronting the loss that he had had previously. They've come to lean on each other, and so that leaning has created some stability, I think.
Right, especially this season, I think Liv is more up here because she knows what's right and she's trying to get him that way. And by the time they come to a more of an understanding, then they're a little more equal. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, not to be cheesy, but I think when you're playing on the same level, um, you can create on the same level, you can solve, as it were, on the same level. So it's like they're in harmony.
Hmm.
My next question actually is kind of building on that. I wanted you to talk about him, both of you talk about sort of him, I guess, leaning on her as he tries to deal with what he's seen, or is even though he says he hasn't seen it a lot of times, but her trying to get him to that point. So just kind of both of your points of view on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think she sees that he's struggling, and his whole from my character's viewpoint, his whole structure in his life, the way he sees things or whatever, is shattered. when this thing he was adamant about not existing, he finds out actually exists. And this is the thing I do have to say about Sheriff Mike, about his character. It is so funny to me that this guy talks about Sasquatches and guys with 6 arms, and yet somehow believing in aliens is like crazy.
That's the
Yeah.
line.
I think, you know what, to ducktail on it, it reminds me of the scene in season 3, at the end of season 3, when Mayor Ben rescues them from being held at gunpoint. He runs over Joseph, and they come back and they're looking for him. And Mike's like, I don't want to hear anything more about aliens. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go look for the invisible stealth high-tech helicopter with the claw, that must have come down and scooped him up.
Yeah.
Anything but what it is. But, I think like that scene with Harry and or Manted Harry and Mike in therapy was like, the world is black and white. It's salt and pepper. Imagine how mind-blowing it would be to go from a black and white world to seeing color and all of that vividness and all of the different shades and hues. It'd be kind of like you'd need a moment to hit the reset button. And someone like Mike who saw it, so it's cut or dry, it's one or the other, to understand that, oh no, it is a medley of all sorts of things. Um, and I think a lot of people could take a lesson from that, quite frankly. That there is color, there is a vastness to it all. It's not as simple as one or the other. So,
Do you think that if either of them found out or will find out that Harry is the alien, that they're going to react like that other character does this season? Go, oh, well, of course it's Harry, and guess, or they'll be really shocked.
I will say this. I believe that question will be answered
Good.
perhaps at some point. So you will get to see what happens when that reality is.
Oh, I should
is
have asked it last season, apparently.
Yeah,
Thank you guys so much.
you
Appreciate it.
got it.
Oh, thank you very much. Nice to see you both.
Yeah,
I was
we'll
gonna
see you
say, I
next
don't
You're
think
time.
we have time for another one, I don't think, but thank you. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.